to try, look, even for me personally, my character, they would try to attack my character. They'll say he a rat or he this and that.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is ask him who I told on.
Paperwork.
I ain't never told on no in my life.
Yeah.
In the Prem situation, look at this case. It'll tell you who told on him.
Right.
My name ain't in that case.
Innocent or guilty, criminal or citizen, that could get them any time for any crime. Say, look, if it say, sir, did you see such and such do such and such and such? Oh, wait a minute, only time, the only time.
Show me one place in the federal guidelines where you can have 10 machine and get 1 year of community service and 1 year incarceration.
I said, how you feel when them New York and shit like 50 and all them niggas be trying to do all that old?
I'ma tell you something. When you're fighting a man with no arms, expect to get kicked.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. When it comes to 50 Cent, getting on his bad side is a serious mistake, and anyone in the industry knows that. Once you cross him, the fallout can be relentless. T.I. learned that lesson the hard way, when 50 began publicly calling him out over long-standing allegations that have followed T.I. for years.
You see what I'm saying? But they talking about, they try to use that I need to order protection, but why it feels like I'm the here then? If I needed protection, you needed protection, and your protection gone.
T.I. has been burdened by the snitch label since his 2007 gun case, and it's affected how many peers treat him. 50 Cent, of course, was one of the loudest voices in the conversation. At first, T.I. tried to remain calm, brushing off the criticism, but as time passed, things escalated, and he started firing back. Then came the bold move. T.I. challenged 50 to a 20-track versus battle, even suggesting it take place as a birthday celebration. That challenge only fueled the flames. In classic 50 Cent fashion, he responded with pure pettiness.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crimestoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crimestoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIP. Channel 2, community coverage.
Digging up the old 2008 Crimestoppers PSA, where T.I. encouraged citizens to report crimes. The internet took it and ran wild. But here's what many forget. T.I. and 50 weren't always at odds. They had worked together on music and shared mutual success in entertainment and business. At one point, their relationship was actually cordial. Still, no matter how far both have come, the shadow of those allegations continues to haunt T.I., and figures like 50 Cent won't let it go. Most recently, rumors began circulating that T.I. was once in talks to play the role of Davis McClain on Power, but allegedly lost the opportunity due to his issues with 50 Cent. Whether true or not, the speculation alone shows how deep and lasting the tension really is. T.
So Tough, to everyone listening to it, is an awesome song. Listen carefully, actually you don't have to even listen that carefully. There's a line in there directed at another rapper in the game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What line? What rapper is on?
It was a line that has you questioning that you have, is it true you have the best lawyers in the game?
I feel like I do.
Okay.
Great.
And you asked them a question that if you got caught with 10 weapons in your car, you would have seen 10 years, maybe 9.
What makes you feel like there's a line to a rapper?
It just seemed to be very coincidental with the timing of things that are going on.
That's like.
Will you deliver the line for me 1 second? I don't want to do it injustice.
You use real life situations to create something that's entertaining without being specific. That's entertainment to me. Like if I had an issue, when have you known me to be indirect with an issue?
Oh, you're pretty direct.
Right, so if I had a problem with any artist, trust me, they would know. You see what I'm saying? When I take it and I write that, it's because a lot of people think that. And they're not saying it because they're cowardly people. You see what I'm saying? So when you write it and you put it there and you leave it and say, watch, let me watch and see what happens. And there's so much controversy around it, you didn't say anything. Then you go, see, they think that. They just won't say it to them because they're a bunch of punks.
drop the line for me? That line that starts off with about having the best lawyers in the game.
I got the best lawyers money can buy. They said it would have got me 10 or maybe 9. I said, well, how do you explain how homie breathes? Said to keep your mouth shut or you eat the cheese. You so tough.
Are you telling me that's not directed at a specific rap?
Well, I can't. Well, my intentions, if I have a problem, you know, my MO, and I would just say something. You know, so it's not really directed at him. It's me taking real life situations that these things are relevant to hip hop. Period. You see what I'm saying? So I take it and I make something that's interesting enough for people to sink their teeth into, and then I move forward. If you have beef, then we make it beef.
Can you understand? Well, you know me, I'm direct too. Is that line about T.I.?
Absolutely, for the public to decide.
I has publicly attempted to shut down the swirling rumors. He claims they're not true, insisting that he and 50 Cent are on good terms and still have mutual respect. But the reality is, 50 hasn't confirmed that, and his silence speaks volumes. So the question remains, how did T.I. end up carrying the snitch label that still keeps him at a distance from peers like 50 Cent? To answer that, we have to rewind and break down the full timeline. 50 Cent and T.I. go back years. Their tension isn't new. It's been simmering for a long time. And while 50's shade toward T.I. is played out mostly across social media, the issues appear rooted in a few key moments. One of the biggest sparks? T.I.'s repeated push for a Versus battle. He wasn't just suggesting it, he was aggressively calling for it. But it wasn't just that. T.I. also stirred the pot with some pointed comments about East Coast rappers, including those like 50, during past interviews. Then there's the Crimestoppers PSA from 2007. At the time, T.I. was facing serious legal pressure after being hit with federal weapons charges. With the possibility of 20 years behind bars, he recorded a public service announcement urging the community to help law enforcement fight crime. It was clearly an image move, but it came with lasting consequences. While T.I. may have been trying to clean up his public image after his arrest, that clip gave critics ammunition for years. And it's become a permanent part of his story in the eyes of the culture, and definitely in the eyes of 50 Cent.
But how are you dealing with when like the 50 Cents are coming at you?
Well, I mean, honestly, man, like, to be perfectly honest with you, man, I gotta deal with each situation as how I hear it come out of the person's mouth. You can misinterpret songs, lyrics, you know what I'm saying? When you're being interviewed and someone asks you, how do you feel about this? I gotta take that. I gotta take your verbal rather than listen to your lyrics and jump to a conclusion. And when I heard him speaking on it, he said he wasn't talking about me, you know what I'm saying? And me and 50 always had a decent rapport, you know? It wasn't never nothing negative. So, and like he said this in conversation. At the same time, he said, man, he's never had a problem with saying people's names when he's speaking on them. And like that's not like 50. If he going at somebody, he usually say their name and make it known. It's usually not ever whether or not, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that it's just unnecessary to jump to a conclusion and, you know, create an issue where there is none.
That Crimestoppers ad didn't just spark memes, it triggered real backlash. A lot of T.I.'s industry peers were rubbed the wrong way, and many wasted no time labeling him a snitch. The reputation stuck. And of course, 50 Cent was one of the first to seize on it publicly and repeatedly. 50 took his first lyrical shot on G-Unit's track, You So Tough, where he raps, "Get knocked with 10 machine guns, only get 12 months. Aye, don't talk to me, you talk to him, you talking to them." In those bars, 50 was clearly referencing T.I.'s 2007 case. The timing matched, the message was unmistakable, and fans immediately connected the dots. He continued, "I got the best lawyers money can buy. They said they would have got me 10 or maybe 9. I said, how do you explain how homie breathes? They said, keep your mouth shut or you eat the cheese." The lyrics echoed the growing suspicions in the streets.
Like, you see a snitch, slap him when you see him, knock his nose off. So So next time I'm out, instead of asking for a picture like a little hoe ass, come on, knock my nose out if you think I'm a snitch. Come on, quit smiling in my face trying to get in my section. Don't play with me. You think you're talking to? Play with your name. King never gave no information to get anybody in no but now time with no police. If I am working with the police, it'll be to get him to shoot. You talking about? Play with me.
It wasn't just about charges. It was about how quickly and easily T.I. walked away from them. Here's the situation 50 was pointing to. T.I. was scheduled to perform at the BET Hip Hop Awards, but just hours before hitting the stage, he was arrested on federal weapons charges. Authorities revealed that his own bodyguard, secretly acting as a federal informant, had sold him 3 machine guns and 2 silencers. The deal was caught on surveillance, and T.I. reportedly paid $12,000 for the illegal weapons. Now here's the twist. T.I. was already a convicted felon, which meant owning those weapons was an automatic federal violation. And yet, after pleading guilty, his sentence came out unusually light. A year of house arrest, 1,500 hours of community service, and an undefined but short prison stint. That's exactly the kind of outcome that raised eyebrows and gave 50 Cent the perfect setup to keep pressing the issue in music and media. Let's be honest, when you're caught with multiple illegal firearms, silencers, and you're already a convicted felon, even the best lawyers in the country can't usually keep you from serious time.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. If there was another commercial that I could shoot to tell people who were law-abiding citizens to call the police if crime is happening
in their area,
and it would keep me from doing 10 years for some that I was using to protect myself. If I could make that video again in that same circumstance, I would do it time and time again. I ain't that gangster.
Normally, that kind of charge earns anywhere from 9 to 10 years in federal prison, minimum. But somehow, T.I. avoided that outcome entirely. That's why 50 Cent's verse on You So Tough hit so hard. It wasn't just a diss, it was a calculated insinuation. 50 was suggesting that T.I.'s deal was too good to be true. And in hip-hop, when something doesn't add up, people start talking. The most common conclusion? Somebody cooperated to cut that kind of deal. Shortly after You So Tough dropped, 50 was asked in an interview if he was taking aim at T.I. He didn't give a clear answer. Instead, he told the interviewer that it was up to the public to decide who the lyrics were about. But for anyone paying attention, it wasn't hard to read between the lines. 50 didn't have to name names. He knew the streets would connect the dots on their own. And that was part of his strategy, letting perception speak louder than confirmation. The idea was already out there. All he had to do was fan the flames. As for T.I., he was also asked about the song during that same period. Surprisingly, he tried to play it cool. He didn't call out 50 directly.
I ain't that gangster. I'm not that gangster. I ain't finna tell on nobody. I ain't finna take no stand. I ain't wanna get nobody locked up. I ain't finna do nothing that gonna cause nobody no time. But
how you feel when them niggas be like, man, them tip, man, all the shit.
Man,
hey, we on the bullshit. You been drinking, I've been drinking. All that.
And instead seemed to give him the benefit of the doubt. But there's likely another reason behind his silence. At the time, T.I. was still under federal supervision, with prosecutors watching closely. Picking a public fight with 50 Cent, especially one rooted in criminal allegations, would have only drawn more heat. So instead, he kept things low-key. But that silence didn't stop the whispers from growing louder. It was only a matter of time before the old drama resurfaced. Fast forward to 2020, and that infamous Crimestoppers video featuring T.I. found its way back into the spotlight. This time, the timing couldn't have been more explosive. The hip-hop world was already buzzing over Tekashi 6699's racketeering case, where he publicly testified against alleged 9 Trey Gangsta Blood members. the topic of snitching was front and center in the culture once again. So when 50 Cent caught wind of T.I.'s Crimestoppers PSA reappearing online, he couldn't resist taking a shot. He fired off a tweet that read, "This is the first song I'm gonna play, You So Tough." It was a direct reference to T.I. challenging him to a versus battle, and it came with receipts. The tweet included the full Crimestoppers video, along with an audio clip from You So Tough, just to make the message crystal clear. 50 wasn't just ignoring the challenge, he was mocking it. I didn't stay quiet. He jumped straight into the comment section to clap back at 50's post, and he didn't hold back. I denied all accusations, stating clearly that he had never helped law enforcement put anyone behind bars. Not then, not ever. But he went further. I flipped the spotlight back toward 50, suggesting that maybe it was 50 who had something to hide. He hinted that 50 might be projecting.
We don't count. Fuck it.
I don't even know. I don't know what you're talking about.
I said, how you feel when them New York 50 and all them they be trying to do all of those?
I'm gonna tell you something. When you're fighting a man with no arms, expect to get kicked. Do what they can. What they can. Go with whatever they can to hurt you. Whatever they feel will hurt you. What they don't know is, I don't give. I am at peace with.
Referring to rumors about 50's own past and alleged cooperation with authorities. I wrote, "The video clip is cute. In poor taste, but cute. However, I prefer facts. I've never given any information to any form of law enforcement to get nobody, no time, for no crime. Ever. The message was direct. T.I. wasn't just defending himself, he was questioning the integrity of the person calling him out. T.I. didn't just respond, he doubled down. After clapping back in the comments, he took it a step further by sharing 50 Cent's post to his own Instagram feed. And with it came a lengthy caption that reignited the fire. Once again, T.I. threw down the gauntlet, pushing hard for a versus battle. He wrote, "I'll take this as an acceptance of my catalog challenge. We got him. He bit the bait. Set this up so I can finally shut this watermelon head, invisible neck ninja up once and for all." The shot was loud, clear, and loaded with intent. T.I. also addressed the Crimestoppers clip again, dismissing it as outdated and irrelevant. He said, "As far as this clip goes, it's cute, old, outdated, and in poor taste, much like your catalog 50 Cent.
Myself, I know who I am. I know what I've done. I know what I haven't done. I ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. I walk around with my head up, with my chest out. I be by myself most of the time. I don't give a about how nobody feel about me. If they really didn't like it, they would approach me with their anger and get met with equal opposite action. I count 6 shots.
However, I prefer facts." Then came his bold declaration. "The fact remains, I have never given any information to any form of law enforcement at any time in life to get anybody any time for any crime." He didn't stop there. I invoked Supreme, a legendary figure from New York street history, and said, "Supreme told me to ask 50 if he can say the same." Then, with full confidence, T.I. concluded, "Let's set the date and pick the songs from that one hot album you got. Let's lay that overrated, outdated, steroid-inflated catalog to rest. R.I.P. to 50 Cent's catalog. I've seen you bully people for years, but not the king. You picked the right one. Hashtag, #bring me 50. It was clear. 50 had touched a nerve, and T.I. was in full defense mode.
This was a week ago. This ninja was telling me about a comedy show he working on backstage. I don't like all this kind of ish. It wouldn't be a good idea to come around me again. Respectfully, stay away from me."
The floodgates had opened. Just days later, T.I. continued addressing the accusations, taking to Instagram Live to speak publicly with comedian Kelly K-Dub Walker. He was still trying to clear his name and reshape the narrative surrounding the snitching claims that just wouldn't go away. T.I. attempted to weigh in on the rising violence by posting a statement on Instagram. He wrote, "Atlanta is a beautiful, progressive city filled with Black excellence. We uplift each other and win together. Stop coming here to kill each other. That's just played out." He captioned the post with a clear message: "Handle your beefs in your city. Thanks in advance, King." But the timing couldn't have been worse. His comments were made just days after the death of King Von, a rising Chicago rapper who was fatally shot in Atlanta. The message struck many as tone deaf, and 50 Cent was one of the first to publicly call it out. 50 reacted after seeing a story posted by King Von's sister, Kayla. In her message, she not only defended her brother's legacy, but also urged 50 Cent to speak up on the family's behalf. She wrote, "The energy he always puts in other people's business needs to be the same energy he uses to fix things with his own daughter. No way is my brother." After reading her message, 50 responded directly to T.I. with a sharp warning: "You gotta chill. You bugging for saying anything. They got casualties. This is real. I don't know what you were thinking, but rethink it. They're hurting. They love that boy. He was way out. I bet you don't even realize what you did with what you just said. What hood you from again? Come on now. It's quiet time now." The tone was clear. Fall back. There was too much pain, too much loss, and too much tension to speak without care. And for a moment, T.I. actually did go silent. But the quiet didn't last long. Soon after, rumors began swirling that T.I. was in talks to join the Power Universe, one of 50 Cent's flagship franchises. According to reports, T.I. was close to landing a major role, but allegedly lost the opportunity due to his continued jabs at 50. Whether that's fact or speculation, it added more fuel to an already burning fire. I wasn't about to let the rumors spiral out of control. Once whispers started flying about why he didn't land a role in 50 Cent's Power Universe, he jumped in to clear the air. He denied that any feud with 50 had anything to do with missing out on the opportunity. It all kicked off when Power actor Johnny Paolo, who plays Braden Weston, spoke to TMZ about speculation that T.I. was originally supposed to play Davis McClain, the slick criminal defense attorney now portrayed by Method Man. According to Michael Rainey Jr., who plays Tariq, they showed up to set one day and Method Man was suddenly cast. No warning, no announcement. Behind the scenes, quiet rumors circulated. Some suggested that tension between 50 Cent and T.I. might have led to the switch. It was pure speculation, but it traveled fast. When T.I. caught wind of the talk, he joined the Real Estate Insider podcast with Tony the Closer to shut it down. He denied ever being officially attached to the role and insisted that he and 50 still had mutual respect. According to him, there was no drama, no tension, just rumors gone wild. But while T.I. offered praise and denied beef, 50 Cent remained silent. He neither confirmed nor denied anything, and that silence, it spoke volumes. Though 50 hasn't been actively dragging T.I. the way he's done with others recently, anyone who follows 50 knows he never forgets. His feuds don't always burn out. Sometimes they just wait. And that's why many believe it's only a matter of time before this tension resurfaces again. As for fans, they're split down the middle. One comment read, "You can be a non-cooperating snitch, where you just direct police to something that helps them get a conviction, without you ever testifying. I've never seen a 1-year sentence for all those guns. A Crimestoppers tip, community service, and no major time? Sounds like something political behind the scenes." Another fired back, 50 can't talk. That's the mouse calling the rat a rodent. The debates continue, and so does the scrutiny. But what's your take? Was 50 right to press the issue? Or is this just a case of the pot calling the kettle black? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear it all. And if you're here for real breakdowns and raw hip-hop talk, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell so you never miss a beat. More deep dives coming soon. Stay locked in.